Here are directions for your color grid with Kandinsky inspired circles. Remember your name and teacher code on the back. Before you begin with paint, you need to create your grid. Do this by folding the bottom of your paper to the top and very carefully crease the edge, trying to keep it as straight as possible. Then you will fold that in half, creasing the edge again after everything's lined up. Really take your time with this. And then we're going to fold it one more time. It'll kind of look like a little mini book when you're done with it. Then you'll unfold it and you should have 8 different spaces, kind of rectangle shapes or boxes. You will begin by adding the primary colors to your paper. You get to decide where you would like to add those. There's not any special order. However, if you want to do a special order, you could. Make sure you're using the very tippy top of your brush when you're next to that edge. So you're doing your best to kind of stay inside of the lines, the fold lines that you created. Pick up your brush every single time that you make a new mark. Then when you're ready to switch colors, give a swoosh in your water. Sometimes gentle stamping in the bottom of your rinse cup helps to get the paint off, as well as blotting your brush on a small sponge. Then grab the next primary color you would like to start with. I personally like to use yellow and red before blue just because they're easier to rinse from my brush. Carefully paint in your squares until you have used all of the primary colors. Remember, there's a chart on my bulletin board if you're not sure how to mix a color. Once you have all your primary colors on your paper, you're ready to start adding your secondaries. I added a little pencil mark with letters to remind me that I need to make green, purple, and orange. You don't have to, but if it's a helpful reminder, you can do that. Then with a clean brush, you're going to dip into the colors you need and you're going to carefully just kind of twist your brush to kind of empty the paint off, rinse it really, really thoroughly, and then grab your next color for whatever secondary color you are creating. When you have both colors that you need to create your secondary color, you're going to gently mix them so you don't accidentally bump into another box while you're painting. When you're next to that edge, remember to really take your time and use the very tippy top of your brush. You're going to repeat this process to create your other 2 secondary colors, being really gentle so that you don't accidentally paint where you don't want to. And be sure to check out the chart on my bulletin board if you need some help remembering what colors to mix to create your secondary colors. In your last 2 open boxes, you get to do some experimenting and create some colors of your own. My only request is that you do not make muddy, yucky brown. Remember, colors that are far away on the color wheel are colors that end up making brown or yucky colors. You can also add white to whatever color that you come up with, and this will make a tint, so it'll be a lighter version of whatever color you have created. If you're not sure what might happen, you can always use a placemat to kind of give your color mixing a little test run. Always refer to the helpers on my bulletin board for color mixing if you forget what colors to mix. At cleanup time, grab a piece of cardboard and carefully slide it underneath your project to put on the drying rack. Once your painting is dry and complete, you're ready to add circles by tracing around circle shapes on different kinds of paper. Please do not mix these up with your paper cutouts, and the cups you could use the top and bottom for different size circles. You will use a combination of colored construction paper and painted paper to create your circles. If you can, try to fit more than one circle shape on one piece of paper to save time and paper. Once you get some circles traced, if you layer up papers that are similar size, such as this one that I'm about to layer up, took 2 pieces of paper, put them together, and I'm going to take the scissors and cut the 2 pieces at the same time. And this way I'm actually cutting 2 out at once and saving time with lots of cutting. Then when I go to put it on my paper, I'm going to look for a square rectangle shape that is different color so it shows up best. If you traced and cut out a circle that's bigger than you prefer, go ahead and trim it down so it's a size that you like. Or you could always draw your own circle and cut out that way too if you need one that's extra small or a different size that you prefer. Be sure that your scraps make it to the trash can, please. If you're using the green topped glue bottles, just remember there's a little piece inside the cap that keeps them from clogging, so when you shut them, be careful to put that back in its place when you close them up. Use little dots of glue around the edge of your circle shapes before you stick them down. They should be smaller than the top of a pencil, and carefully press it down inside of each of your painted rectangles. If you aren't able to glue all your circles down, write your name on the back of them and place them inside of the envelope that is labeled by the color of your table. Then that can go inside of your table folder for next time. When you're adding circles, be sure to add tons of variety of sizes and try to use colors that are different from the colors that you painted so that there is contrast and they show up very well.